Absolutely. You can move slightly right if you wanted to on the framing.
Cool, I shall do that just so I can get my leg on the other side of here. I've got to sit slightly sideways because all the soldering gear is under here, but that's fine. Right, I think we're live.
Imagine being professional.
Imagine being ready.
I know, right?
Right. Okay.
Now you can tweet it.
Tweet it?
Yeah, that you're live.
Why would I want to do that?
For audience and participation and stats.
Right, let's get up.
Get on down.
Get on up. Adamant IT. Can I see my own stream? Yes. Look at that. It's on the. It's there. Adamant. Whoop.
Hello.
Right.
We are absolutely professionals and have much experience in this field and area.
You know it. Right, pop-out chat is what I wanted. Right.
Hello, chat.
I'm going to close that. Right, if I put the chat on the left there, can you see that? Or is that...
Yeah, that's fine. It's good enough. Hello, people.
Right, good day. I'll put that there. That'll do. Right, hello. How's it going? You actually got the notification. Good. You are... Yeah, everyone is... well, you're not early, we're late. By 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever. Anyway. Haven't missed anything. We've literally just gone live and then I've faffed because, yeah. My time ran away with me this afternoon. A repair went horrendously over schedule. Where you know when you're trying to work on something and that progress bar is just crawling, and you're like, faster. I have places to be. That times 10.
Yes, and then always the case. It's a case of they then go, oh, by the way, I have a custom email set up. Oh, and my calendar is set to do custom syncing, and no.
And I'm like, oh. I legitimately need to just say, like, I'll do repairs on a Saturday, but I need to tell people that I don't do any repairs on a Saturday. So then there's no assumption that anything will be ready on a Saturday. I think I've just got to do that because Saturday collection sucks. So yeah. Oh, am I going to burn out? The burnout has kind of been... I kind of had a bit of a burnout over the past month or two, I think. But I've kind of worked through it. And now I'm at the point where I'm so far in... I'm so far into it now that I'm kind of I've gone through the deepest reaches of my heart. And now I'm going to come out on the other side, not with superpowers, but just being okay. You know? So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I'm still running Thunderbird. Thunderbird's a good system. Right. Let's see. Are we good to go?
I mean, yeah. I really like Mozilla as a company. Mozilla.
Mozzarella.
Don't
be one of those. I legitimately have people coming and saying, I have mozzarella Firefox. I'm not even joking. Not even joking.
Yes, the tastiest browser option.
What's the plan for 100k? I don't know yet. I'll think about it when we get there.
A new shop.
Well, legitimately, that might be the answer. Because, yeah, as I say, there's a new shop that I'm looking at. People who are in the contributors room on the Discord get to see photos. Anyway.
Of the shop.
That I might be buying. Anyway. Let's get into it. So we're going to stick up. While we get started today, we're gonna kick off. Oh right, quick question: why do we think Nvidia have not produced enough 3 series? Well, you just pointed that out, so now you've got to answer that.
Absolutely. Yes, I was going to say, based off of secret industry sources, that
is that Anantech.
No, actually, legitimately, no, it isn't.
Because I know you were looking at Anantech before we started streaming.
No, based off of the Gamers Nexus video and also my own independent sources, I have friends at SIs.
Okay, yeah. Is that someone that I know, if you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm sure we can introduce you.
Okay.
But anyway,
yeah.
Based off of those people, they said that they had more stock for the 30 series launch than they got for the 20 series launch. They had more stock.
Wow.
And they said that for their website, they had more people trying to buy them within a minute of the stock going up than they have ever had in the history of their company on any day ever. So in other words, what we're saying is the demand was just so high that no matter what the stock level was, it wasn't going to be enough.
Yeah, so Nvidia could never have won that day.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't screw up. They didn't underestimate it. It was literally unwinnable.
Yeah. It was a case of yes, they underestimated, I guess, but at the same time, there is no way they could have produced enough, given the global situation. Given the fact that there's been all this pent-up demand for 6-7 months, given all of that, it was a case of, basically they just could not build enough 30 series to have sated demand. And then it was a fact of sirens!
There's an ambulance going past outside, so we might have to just...
Oh dear, we will pause for a moment. There you go. Right, because there was all this pent-up need for graphics cards and so on, from about March, because demand since March has been the highest I think it's ever been for computer parts, according to people like Newegg and EVGA.
Yeah, everyone's inside.
So if the demand has been high, even in the lowest months of the year, for basically a year, there just has been no capacity in the manufacturing chain to ramp up to the demand that was then given because of all of the hype for the series. So, even though there was more stock for the 30 series launch than there was for the 20 series launch, there was also so much more demand. So, it's a bit mad. And it's a bit sad as well, in a way, kind of seeing how angry some people have got. The fact they haven't been able to buy stuff.
Yes.
It's kind of been a little bit... It's only a graphics card. Yes, get annoyed with the people who are scalping.
Yeah.
Get annoyed with the people who are botting and buying several of them and reselling them, sure. But annoyed at the fact that you can't spend money and actually being aggressive with that, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Take a breather.
I can understand that people were disappointed, but thankfully I haven't really seen anyone who's been super angry about it myself. But it wouldn't. I don't doubt for a moment there's going to be someone out there that's just like, and it's like, you'll be all right. I got a friend who I was talking to you about earlier on, who has been waiting for 2 or 3 months now to build his new computer. He's got money at the ready. His wallet is open. He's ready. But I was like, sort of, wait for the 30 series, wait for the Ryzen 5000. We're almost there.
Yeah.
And it's just, and like the other night we were talking, and it was just like, he could have just bought it 3 months ago and been enjoying it for the past 3 months by now. And he could have just had it by now. And it's exactly what I always warn people about with waiting. And hey ho, he bought a Ryzen 3800X the other day on Amazon Prime Day. So,
well, absolutely. I mean, those deals were mad, though.
Yeah, I bought a 3800X for 300 quid on Prime
yeah,
Day
exactly.
as well.
It was kind of £100 and something plus off on the price of a processor. I mean, yeah, sure, it's technically just about to be superseded, but at the same time, that doesn't make it any less good of a chip. It's just no longer the golden boy kind of thing by comparison. It's kind of, it's nice to have the newest and the shiniest and the fastest and the bestest, but at the same time, if you're buying something that's still good, why does it matter?
Plus, you don't even need that much for gaming anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of a case of I feel that certainly your use case, because obviously you're streaming. Right. The extra cores and bits kind of do tick that up, and you kind of go, that's nice. It's useful to have. It gives me more flexibility in what I'm doing, allows me to stream in different ways. And absolutely, I can kind of see why you tick up a tier higher than what's needed for gaming kind of questions. But yeah, it's been good.
Right, a little bit of chat catch up. Firstly, hi Andrew, hi Teltaxi, both in the chat there. How's it going? And Andrew says he's had a couple of people in circles who've been angry about not getting one of the cards. Bummer, my dude. So yeah. Just a quick one. Jimmy on fire. Flex cable on my trackpad is stuck and now my MacBook is very slow. Yes, that will happen. The MacBook trackpad has a thermal sensor in it, and if one of the thermal sensors is not working, then your MacBook will go into limp mode. So yeah, replace that flex cable, and that should sort you out. You might need to replace your trackpad at the same time, but I think it's in the flex cable, not the trackpad itself.
Overheating trackpads? Question mark. Apple.
I think it's just looking for palm rest temperature because the battery is near there and stuff like that. That kind of thing. It's a good place to put a thermal sensor. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes. Prime Day sucked. Yeah, I didn't see a lot, but there wasn't anything exciting on Prime Day. But I got a 3800X and I bought a boatload of SSDs for this shop, which I shall sell at very agreeable profits because the prices have gone back up to normal prices now. So I can sell them at like slightly above the current cost price and actually make a healthy profit. So
the stuff I saw going on sale mostly on Prime Day was SD cards and SSDs. Surprisingly, considering we appear to have had a bit of a wane on the supply, because the price on SSD certainly has been very slowly creeping the past couple of months. You know, £1 here, £2 there, sort of thing. So to suddenly see sale prices where they've gone, let's knock off 25 quid.
Yeah,
is a bit, then why's the price creeped?
And it was all the SSDs that I like to buy as well, like Crucial MX500s and Sabrent Rockets, the non-Q one as well. Sabrent Rocket non-Q, so the good one, the TLC one. That was £92 for a terabyte. So, no idea what it was in the US, but I was just like, hell yeah, buy me a couple of those. No idea what I'm going to use them in, but I'll find a use for them.
But absolutely. And also, the SSDs are fantastic just to have in stock.
Yeah.
Considering, I think the most common hardware failure that we come across in shops is hard drives.
Yep. The other stuff that came up in the chat as well, the 1066GB, by the way, that's what I was talking about earlier on when we were talking about 1660s. I meant the 1060, not the 2060.
That is a significant difference.
Yes, apologies for that. We won't go into that now. However, anyway, the 1066 gig, it still holds up pretty well. Yep, it still holds up pretty damn good. It's getting on a bit, but as I say, it still holds up well. My girlfriend has one in her computer, and I haven't. She's only gaming it at 1080p. However, I haven't seen it struggle with anything she's running on it. So make of that what you will. I think, especially, I'd stay away from the 3GB version. The 3GB version is okay. However, if you can get the 6 gig version for slightly more, then definitely do that. Also, another thing that I saw pop up earlier on, which we should probably do because we didn't do any kind of formal intro to the show or anything like that, is neither of us are Adam. My name is Graham. There is no Adam at Adamant IT. Yeah. And this is Caradog, who is my friend and is the other administrator on the Discord.
Indeed.
So yeah. If Teltac is still in the chat and he's feeling really cool, he could drop the invite link to the Discord. And my phone is ringing. Okay, the mic isn't picking that up, so I don't care. Oh, did you cancel the call? Yeah, that's fine. We're closed. Go away. So yeah.
This is incredibly professional.
Do you want to pass the phone to me? Because then I can put it on something that will smother it.
So please try again later or come into the shop. Thank you very much.
Shh. Don't leave a message. Good. My outgoing message literally says call back later, and people still try and leave a message. Right.
Oh dear. Oh well. So yes, that went well. This is a real shop. It's not a stage.
Yeah. That's how you know that we're for reals. We're for realsies. It's not faked. This is these are real circuit boards. Oh man, I want to make a reference now, but no one's going to understand it.
Oh.
Show us what's inside the fridge, Wayne. There is no fridge. I lied. It was never real. Hands up in the chat if you know that reference. I think it's hilarious and no one's going to get it. Anyway, right. Where are we up to? So we were talking about graphics card. The 1060 is still fine.
Yes, I would say that I haven't actually seen any hard and fast numbers, and I'm going purely off of gut feeling.
Yeah.
But I would guess that the 1660 Super and 1660 Ti are going to be a little bit faster than a 1060.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, also RAM prices were very good for for like 3200 mega transfer
I
kits.
picked up a couple of 16 gig memory kits as well. Because again, I'll just the next time I'm doing any kind of gaming build, we're gonna stick 16 gigs of RAM in that. So I'll chuck it in there. So yeah, I spent about $1,000 just on stuff that I will use at some point in the next year. Yeah. And I'm just like, I was just like, I'm spending $1,000 and I don't need any of this. But I'm basically guaranteed to end up with like at least £1,300 or £1,400 back in my pocket after I've used it all. So even if I end up selling half of it back at cost, I'll make my money back on that. So yeah.
I feel that's a major risk though when you're running like a small shop like this, is the fact that you occasionally end up putting stuff in a build that you've had sitting around, that is stock, that you forget that you bought.
Yeah.
And you effectively just give it away, and you suddenly go, "Oh no, I effectively lost money on that."
Oh yeah, I've never made that mistake, but I do live in fear of it. Very occasionally.
Yeah, just a case of you haven't, but it's a case of, "Oh, I got this in cheap, so I'll sell it on to you for cheap."
You forget to charge the customer for it because it wasn't in it wasn't in the basket of stuff you bought.
Yeah.
And you just bill the customer for all the stuff you bought plus whatever labour I'm putting in on there. So
yeah, exactly. And then you suddenly go, "Oh no." It's how I ended up building a £400 computer for someone and charging them £350 for it.
Yeah.
I was just like, that went wrong. Yeah. Whoops.
PC Bolt says, what about the GT210? No. Literally, integrated graphics is faster than that now. This came up in the Discord the other day.
And it was like 46%.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah, Intel integrated graphics are literally faster than a GT210, which is basically the same as like a 720 or 710.
The GT210 is the same as a GT710.
Yeah.
Because they're the same thing.
I think when we were looking it up, it was all the way up to like the GT730, I think, was only slightly faster than integrated. Like it was like 10% or something, to the point where there was no point in putting it in there at all unless you needed just more outputs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and it's shocking because obviously that means then if you had something like a 3400G compared to a GT710, 730, the 3400G is faster. Again, it's like you kind of forget, having done this for a while, that integrated graphics have actually really come on. They're not good, but they've come on a long way.
Yeah, indeed. Let me see. Orange Zen, do I need to worry about a false boot light on my MSI B550 Tomahawk? Well, is the computer starting and running? Because sometimes the diagnostic LEDs stay on while it runs. I've seen that happen on. What have I got in my PC at the moment? I've got an ASRock in my PC. One of my motherboards was doing that, where the boot diagnostic LED was staying on while the computer runs. Sometimes it did it, and sometimes it didn't. And I think it's no idea why. However, if the computer starts and runs, nothing to be concerned about, basically. So yeah. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Sometimes the boot light just stays on, basically. So yes.
Kind of sounds like a car with that. Yeah, occasionally the light in the boot just stays on. You learn to forget about it, along with the clunking suspension.
Sometimes the check engine light is on, but if it's not flashing, it's not something you really need to worry about. If your check engine light is flashing, you need to stop the car. But if it's not flashing, you'll be all right.
And remember to put oil in your engine.
I'm joking. Just so we're clear, I'm joking. Can you gentlemen recommend a good 144 hertz monitor? What resolution and what sort of size are you looking for?
27 inch is the size. So yes.
I really like the Asus monitors at the moment. The Asus VG. Asus. Yes, I don't know. The Asus VG series.
The ASUS.
Actually, I heard it's Asus because it's like Pegasus. Apparently, that's where it came from. The word Pegasus. I'm not joking. This is
turning into a farce.
A man on the internet told me that, so it must be true. So anyway, I really like the Asus VG series, the VG27 and the VG24 series, I think. They're really good value for money, and they've got this ELMB thing. So you've got FreeSync, and the thing is, with high refresh monitors, you want backlight strobing to reduce blur, and you also want FreeSync, so if your graphics card can't keep up the frame rate, you don't get screen tearing. But the problem is, on most monitors, you can't have backlight strobing and FreeSync at the same time. But on the Asus ones, with ELMB, you can have them both at the same time, which means you get the no smeary backlight strobing, and you have FreeSync at the same time. And they're actually pretty good bang for buck as well. So yeah, the Asus ones, they've got a pretty good range. They've got some 1080p ones, some 1440p ones, and they've got that in like 24 or 27 inch, curved or non-curved. There's a pretty good selection, and they're all reasonably priced. So yeah, the Asus TUF VG series,
I think, should get all of the monitor companies and kind of just go, hey, send us monitors. Hey, send us monitors. Hey, do you want to send us some monitors?
The problem is, well, I suppose you could help me out with that. The problem is, I'm not a color nerd. Like when you start talking about YPGR, etc., 444, and that kind of thing, I start going, I don't know what that means. Like I
chroma subsampling.
Yeah,
that's what
like
that means.
I know my IPSs and stuff like that because I know what a good monitor looks like, but I don't know the terminology of what makes it good. Like I don't know whether you really need 10-bit or if 8-bit is acceptable and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I
mean, if you were willing to help out, I would do monitor reviews.
Yeah,
but like
absolutely.
sometimes I've seen other monitor reviews where they start going through all the refresh rates and breaking down the spectrum on each one. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
but, I mean, I could set it up and look at it and be like, based on the monitors that I have looked at, and I've looked at good monitors, I know what a good monitor looks like. I can look at a monitor and be like, yeah, that's pretty good.
I think what we can add in that sort of thing is on the kind of the subjective kind of thing, and kind of going, because I mean, you've got a lot of experience with Dell Ultra Sharps, I've got a lot of experience with Dell Ultra Sharps. Words are hard, okay. And the LG color ones. I forgot what the LG graphics artist monitors are and things like that.
Yeah.
So we've played around with those fancy ones. And it's kind of a case of, so we've seen nice fancy bits on that. We've got colorimeters, and things like that, so we can measure spectra and all that fancy stuff. But it's also kind of a case of just kind of going, does it being color accurate actually make the desktop look pretty? Does it make my game look pretty?
Yeah, and I have a suspicion there's mileage in that.
And that's kind of what I want to look at as well, because I recently got the LG 55CX OLED something. I can't remember the full models.
Big TV.
A 55-inch OLED TV, which I use as my monitor. The colours on it are awful.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, the colour profile's all wrong. I need to select custom colour profiles.
Because you were singing the praises about the blacks.
Oh, it's amazing. Actually having true, real black on a monitor is amazing. And it's not something I think anyone can fully appreciate unless they see it. Just the fact of, I think the thing as well is, for me, the fact that it works in content that isn't like specifically mastered for HDR and or specifically mastered for OLED or anything. Standard normal content works for it because it has black in it, and the black is actually black. Night is black with light bits in it, as opposed to smeary grey with slightly less smeary grey stuff and things like that. And it's incredible. The black is one of the greatest bits on it. The colours are
yeah.
It's not that it's inaccurate and wrong and bad, it's just that the colour profile and ranging is wrong, and I haven't fiddled with it because I was fiddling with it from a game performance point not a colour accuracy, photo editing point of view.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But yes, it's great. HDR, Doom Eternal, 120 plus frames a second. It's genuinely transformative. Actually genuinely transformative. And I didn't expect that to be the case. I just expected it to kind of be a case of going, oh yeah, this is nice. This is better. this is nice. But no, it's genuinely, for me, a case of going, wow, okay, this is another level. This is another tier up.
Interesting.
In all fronts.
My new monitors are VA panels, and I've come back from IPS panels, and so because I couldn't afford the IPS ones, and they're okay, they're just not as good. They can display HDR, but only the bare, they just about meet the basic requirements for HDR. So you turn it on, you're like, okay. But it doesn't blow my mind in the same way that your one did. But that's because
absolutely.
I don't have the monitors for it.
Yeah, and it's a case of, also that one can do a peak. I think it can do a sustained brightness of 1,000 nits as well.
Yeah.
So it can do a sustained 1,000 with, obviously, them being HDR 1000. And it's genuinely bright enough that I was playing at night in a dark room and gave myself a headache with the flashing lights.
Yeah.
And I was playing and then went, oh, my head really hurts. I've got I have this giant flashing wall of light in front.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop playing.
That's the other reason, because when I got my screens, I did start configuring the HDR stuff, just because I was like, I want to have this turned on because I've got it. But the problem is, I end up having my brightness at almost the minimum all the time anyway. So it just doesn't work because I always have my brightness down so low. So, just gonna, catching up on a little bit of chat stuff. There was a couple of things. Apple is a huge one. Someone was asking about, Apple power adapters. Apple power adapters, I don't have an issue with them. I find they're actually pretty good unless people abuse them most of the time.
The actual build quality and so on. Yeah, absolutely. Their choice of connectors sometimes is a little annoying.
Yeah.
But Apple's going to Apple.
Yeah.
I guess. I say that as someone who is presently trying to enjoy using an iPhone.
Yeah. Is it worth sending my RX 582 to a repair shop? If it's broken, probably not really, unless you know a repair shop that specialises in graphics card repairs. I don't know if there's many people that actually do it. If you found a shop that says, yes, we fix graphics cards, the chances are it's economical to do that, unless they're going to charge you arms and legs. Personally, I would be, if you called me up and said, I've got an RX 580 that needs repair, I'd say just buy a second-hand one off eBay for £120 or something like that, because I am, even if I could fix it, I wouldn't be doing it for less than 100, because it's a experimental repair per se. But as I say, I'm speaking as someone who's only just lightly dabbling in graphics card repair. Been thinking of doing what Graham does, but need more experience. I built over 12 computers in the past 15 to 20 years. Yeah, well, if you building computers is a good start. Repairing is mainly just experience with dealing with common faults on computers for a customer and basically just working on other people's computers. The biggest mistake that a lot of technicians make is that they set up everyone else's computers like how they like their own. And someone else's computer, that belongs to someone else. They've got to set up how they like it, and you kind of got to work around their requirements. So that's where it comes into it. But the start, the best piece of advice that Lewis Rossman always gives to people who say, how do I get into repair? He says, find something that's broken and fix it. And that's genuinely how you start. Find something broken, fix it. There was one of the chaps on the Discord, Postal. He's been fixing PS3s, and he made money on one this week, and we're very proud of him because he bought a load of PS3s, and we all laughed at him, going, "You'll keep buying broken PS3s." However, he bought a PS3, he did it up, and he sold it at a profit, and we were like, "Good job,
well done."
So good for him. Also, super chat which I just missed from Chris Kingan. Thanks for the $10. Hello from Pittsburgh, PA. What's that? Pennsylvania, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Hello from Pittsburgh. Fellow Computer Tech, enjoy your channel. Thank you very much, my dude. Really appreciate it. Many thanks.
Absolutely, yes. And I really feel like the super chat should go towards a new stool.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about my crap stools. I will deal with them at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone just quickly going on the topic of Apple to say about their changing of silicon and dumping Intel and so on, and chips made by ARM. Yes, kind of mostly correct with the statement. ARM don't manufacture chips. ARM designs processor templates for a simplistic term, that other companies can then use to design their own chips and make their own processors from those basic starter design sorts of things.
It's kind of like a development kit. They give you the start of it, and the idea is you customize it and bring it to market, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a case of with Apple, they're going to be manufacturing it themselves. I believe they're even planning on making their own fabs at some point in the distant future, but they're going to be using TSMC 7nm to start with, from what I've seen. So they're going to be using TSMC to make their chips, which they have designed themselves for laptops and desktops, as opposed to chips made by Intel for those laptops and desktops, like the chips they have been making for themselves for iPads and iPhones.
It's going to be a very interesting time for Apple. I'm very interested to see what it looks like. Just because I couldn't care less about Apple at the moment, which is not from a hater's perspective. It's just from a case of nothing they're doing excites me.
Yeah. Well, I think the perfect example is what we were saying I was saying in Discord earlier today was, does anyone else think the iPhone 12 looks an awful lot like an iPhone 4?
I really liked the iPhone 4, so, that being the case, I'm just like, yeah. Has it got a glass back or a metal back? Oh, it's a metal back, isn't it? Because they've got the new wireless charging. So, yeah, I suppose it's more like an iPhone 4. Oh, the iPhone 4 had a glass back anyway, didn't it?
Yeah.
So
iPhone 5 had a metal back.
Yeah, that's right. So it's more like an iPhone 5, if anything.
Oh, yeah, but it's got like the solid band around it and stuff. It's going to have antenna gate too, I guarantee it.
You reckon?
Well, yeah, because it's got an external 5G antenna. The band around the outside is the 5G antenna. And they're going to tell people that they're holding it wrong again.
No, they won't make that same mistake twice. There's no way.
Well, no, this time it won't be a mistake. They'll just tell you just out the box they're doing it wrong.
It wasn't a mistake last time, yeah.
No, it's not a mistake. Apple never make mistakes. They just have users who use it wrong. The reason the users are using it wrong is because users expect it to work. I mean, what?
Cody Sanders, thank you very much for the $5. Here's to a new shop. Thank you for continuing to crank out the content. Greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot, man. As I say, got my eye on a new shop. I'm still hoping to move before Christmas. So, as I say, when something actually starts moving, I want to do a bit of an announcement because I've gone very quiet. After the 50,000 subscriber special where I said, big things are coming, I just went silent, basically. I have been planning in the background. I'm just not going to announce anything until I've got something to announce. But yeah, things are coming.
There's nothing worse than the people who go, here is an announcement for an announcement.
Yes.
In 4 days' time, we will announce a countdown timer for our announcement.
Shut up until you have something. Yep.
Oh, hi, NVIDIA.
Yeah. And, well, actually, I hope I haven't missed anything in the chat, but whatever. Here we go. We can't answer all the questions, but we're talking about iPhones now. I spoke to you earlier on about the fact that, with the new iPhone 12 announcement, there's lots of stuff to talk about there, but the thing I'm most interested in is the fact that the Mini is a thing, because that is about the size of an iPhone 4, unless I'm mistaken, isn't it?
I know literally nothing about the iPhones. The only thing, genuinely, the sum total of my knowledge of of the new iPhones, give me 1 second, is the advert, there we go, the advert that Apple gives you for the products. Hold on, let me get in closer. This advert here is the sum total of my knowledge of the iPhone 12.
Fair enough.
That is literally it. I haven't looked at anything at all. So yes, I probably should have done so we know what the hell's going on. But hey, such is life.
Yeah, this is two tech talk about guys for channel YouTube. So
absolutely yes, and it's a case of I swapped over to this again last night after buying it in April. I bought the iPhone SE in April because it was a cheap iPhone that didn't look like they had basically gutted it and went, oh, here's a cheap iPhone, but it doesn't work. To get one that works, you need to spend more money. It actually looked like a decent iPhone because I've not used an iPhone in anger since the 3GS. That's the last time I ran an iPhone as my phone. Yeah. And I was like, I constantly give iPhones grief for not being very good and being a bit weird and having issues with this and that and so on. And it was a case that I went, you know what? This is an acceptable price to me for the quality of camera they say they're putting in it and the quality of screen they're saying that they're putting in it. So let's get it and try it.
This is the thing. For me, all of the annoying bits about Apple aside, if you just take an Apple product and put it in front of me, it's a very nice experience. Like with Apple MacBooks, even the brand new ones that I generally don't really like and stuff like that, when you actually sit in front of one and use it, you're like, this is a really nice laptop. The problems for me start when you then tell me how much it costs. That's when I start going, oh, and stuff like that. But that's the thing, and it's the same with the iPhone. A lot of people go sort of, oh, dumb iPhone users and stuff like that. It's just like, the iPhone's a really nice device. Again, price tag aside, any other things aside, if you just take it at face value, you pick up this phone and you send some messages and you make some calls on it and you browse the internet, it's a really nice device. And it's just the other, and like when someone says, it's the same with the iPad. Like a lot of when people come in and they go, oh, I want to get a tablet. What should I buy? These days, I say to them, go and buy an iPad, legitimately, because the cheapest iPad that you can buy right now, just the basic iPad, is actually rather good, and it's actually pretty well priced as well. When you I think it's about £340, and I'm
something in that region.
Yeah, and I'm like, to get the Apple iPad, that's pretty good. And if you tell someone to go and buy that, they're going to get something that is at the very least not terrible and will age half decently. Whereas all the Android tablets, I only ever see them when they're a couple of years old, and they're just garbage.
Yeah. I feel in a sense that's not necessarily saying Apple are doing a really good job with tablets, as much as saying that everyone else is doing a really bad job.
Yeah.
But I've also not really looked at tablets in any sort of anger since the Nexus 7, and which is 2012, 2013. Because I just stopped caring when 6-point-something inch phones became a thing.
Yeah, that's true. And you know me, for ages I was trying to chase a cheap tablet, and I ended up just buying a good phone.
Yeah.
That was literally my solution to finding an affordable tablet, was to buy a good phone. So,
yeah, exactly. And it's kind of a case of, I feel, because, again, this is my use case. Is my use case, and everyone's use case is different. It's a case of us just kind of like, I don't see the need. I don't feel any benefit to having a tablet or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just want.
But then I think the big difference between us and the target audience is the fact that you and I, when we're both when we're at work and when we're at home, is we're sitting at a desk in front of a high performance computer with multiple monitors, whereas most people either have a crap 15-inch laptop with a potato in it, or their crap Samsung A series phone. So a tablet is actually more like their actual device that they want to main, and for consumption of media, a tablet is really the tool for the job.
Yeah.
Catching up on chat a little bit, there was someone was asking about Kolink cases, Kolink. Kolink cases, not encountered one directly. I've just had a quick look. They look like it's standard generic rebrand Chinese cases. Similar kind of deal to what Aerocool make and what GameMax make. It's that same factory that makes those cases. They look okay. The RGB will be good. It'll have the nice RGB controller in it. That'll be fairly decent. The build quality will vary between models. So there are some, depending on which model you buy, you may have sketchy bits on it, you may not. However, for the price you're paying, I'm seeing that they're going for £50 or £60, that kind of money on Amazon UK. I think that's fairly reasonable. So it's a case of, don't expect premium quality. Yeah. However, as a cheap case that will light up and do your RGB that you want to see, you'll be all right. Yeah. That's my had a quick Google search.
Interestingly, they want to do a 1.5 kilowatt power supply.
Yeah.
Which I'm just kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Mm-hmm. Both from the perspective of a 1.5 kilowatt PC is going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
Then it's a case of, I don't know. I just kind of feel a bit off about that. I'd be like, if I was building a computer that required a 1500 watt power supply, I would be saying I'm putting a Seasonic in it,
Yeah.
or I'm putting a Corsair AX 1500i,
Pretty much.
or maybe the EVGA 1600, and that's it.
Sometimes the budget brands punch above their weight, I think. But yeah, the Colink Void, Raven, thanks for the 2 Aussie bucks. A bucks is Aussie bucks, isn't it? Yeah. That's the YouTube chat. It just shows me the abbreviated thing, and I'm like, I don't know what this money is. Thank you very much for the 2 Australian dollars. The Colink Void, that looks pretty funky. There's a lot of these cases again coming out from these Chinese manufacturers that are now playing with the double mirror thing again. And
I love Infinity mirrors.
Infinity mirror, that's the one. And they're coming out with some really interesting looking designs. Actually, I'm just going to quickly share this just to give people some context. So
somehow,
there
we go.
I was ready. There's a Colink Void there. You see, it's got the Infinity mirror on the front of it. Yeah.
Hold on. Can I full screen zoom?
There we go. Now I've got to go back to it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I like these Infinity mirrors. We saw a wave of these where it was just the front of the case was just a square, which was just Infinity mirror, and I always thought that was a really boring design. But there's a new wave of them where they're putting like this one. It's got that triangle shape, and there's an Aerocool one where it's got just a strip, and the RGB strip kind of goes sideways and twists as it goes into it and stuff like that. And I really want to see the Aerocool one. I want them to send me one of those, but they haven't sent me anything yet because I've been sitting on one of their other cases for months.
Maybe
I should actually review the stuff that people send me. Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Maybe, just maybe.
However, yeah, I think it looks funky. Again, these are not premium quality cases, but they're funky.
Yeah,
they're a bit different, and they're cheap. So. That's what I think.
Absolutely. And I think, as you were saying, we were looking at a couple of cases this morning for a completely different end of the market. Premium cases, ultimately £200 cases.
We've got a Lianli 011 Dynamic XL on the bench next to us at the moment, so £200 case.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a case that £200 is a lot of money for a tin box.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a really nicely made tin box.
Yeah, we
with
were
a really good paint finish.
Yeah, and I was looking at this, and I was just seeing how it's got all the little finishing touches, all the little things that I pick on. The cheap cases, I always say sort of, it'd be nice if it had rubber grommets in the holes, and it'd be nice if it had removable PCI plates instead of the snap out ones, and it'd be nice if it had this. The Lianli has all of that. It has all of it.
Yeah,
but that's why it's £200, and the Aerocool is 60.
Yeah,
or 75 for the Airhawk, but that's too expensive. I think that's the Aerocool. I'm reviewing the Aerocool Airhawk Duo at the moment, and it's a very nice case, but it's just a bit too expensive at the moment. But I think that's just because we're in the middle of a pandemic and everything is expensive. I reckon.
Sadly,
yeah. I think this time in just for argument's sake, this time next year in 12 months. That same case, I think, would be £15 or £20 cheaper, just because of the times.
Yeah,
is what
I certainly hope it is. Yeah, because it certainly looks like one of those cases where it will be good enough for your build, but at a little bit less because at the price you're kind of pushing against other stuff. Because isn't the Corsair Cooler Master 220T?
Corsair 220T.
Isn't that kind of within